Vasquez, Cap Combat Sports, here with none other than el favorito mío, el Boricua, Elvin Leon Brito from BKFC, fresh off his BKFC 16 win. And I'm gonna tell you, this kid is not, he's a lot of people say that I call him employee of the month because he does what he's supposed to do. Frustrates you, makes you miss, and hits you, and outthinks you in a brand new sport that's bare knuckle. Where I was also ultra impressed and so ultra proud. Uh, yo soy boricua también, ya tú sabes, y nosotros hablamos. Dímelo, Elvin, what's going on, my brother? Since before then, I remember your MMA career. I remember, well, I can't forget either your bare knuckle, man. You just very fluid, great counter, great thinker, great thinker. You have to be like that because I think
I think
you
that's
bringing
what.
something to the sport and teaching people how there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to get a victory in this sport. Take us through this, man. Take us through the fight, your last fight, which I saw, which I felt like you heard me say something. It's that right hand.
Bam!
Yeah,
It's just,
landed.
you're right though. Just real quick, just to off what you said. Like,
Uh
I
huh.
really do think that in the long run, this sport's gonna go back to how it used to be, and it's gonna be a thinking man's sport. It's gonna be the warriors. You have to be a warrior in this sport. You have to be a gladiator. You have to be able to go out there and just do what you have to do and be willing to bleed. But you have to be you know intellectual in your field. Not like you don't have to be a genius in anything else, but in your field you have to be a specialist. You have to be a technician, and you have to understand that this fight game is every punch has consequences. I've learned that through my career, and I'm thankful for every fight that I've had. For both my losses to my three wins. And every fight to me is a learning experience, and I plan on being better in my next fight. I learned from this fight. I learned what I could do better. Even though it was a great performance, and my last fight, everybody called me like, Elvin, that was like a flawless victory. I was like, yeah, it was great, and I'm like, but I could do better. And this fight, it was really awesome. I got to show off a lot of skills and do a lot of counters a little bit more. And everybody called me like, that was a masterpiece and everything. And I'm like, I could still do more. I could still do more, and I want to be a champion. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm ready to come out there and really look. I think I was able to show the makings of a champion for this fight, and I think I have to be ready mentally and to be a champion, and I think I'm ready to do it. And
And
we're
and, and
definitely been working hard.
yeah. So
I've been working hard, so I'm ready. Definitely have no doubt in my mind. We're gonna go as far as we can go. I
deep.
love it here.
Yeah, I know. I see. Dímelo. Well, first of all, where you at right now, my man? Where you?
I'm in Maunabo, Puerto Rico. Right now, it's my hometown.
Oh,
Right now, I'm actually I'm in my workshop. It's kind of a mess in here, so it's just the wall. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm in my
We're a
home.
couple of
I
dudes,
live here.
bro.
I just moved back here 2019, so I've been here
Good.
for a little bit, and it was a really tough decision. It was one of those decisions where like everybody, because I left everything over there, and I had been there for like 6 years, and everybody's like, "Oh, think about your family. Like, there's no work out there. What are you gonna do?" Like, and I'm like, I am thinking about my family. I was like, don't worry about work. I'm gonna bring my own economy. And I'm like, I gotta do this. And it was a
Yeah.
really tough decision. It took a lot of guts to do it, and it was really scary. And when we got here, it was like, dude, what are we gonna do? It was tough.
Yeah.
And Puerto Rico is not a joke if you're not ready. And but
Yeah.
man, like
True.
we just held on, and we stopped. We got our business, GC Battery, and that's been
Mm.
really helped me be able to stop working from home, and it's really been helping me to like focus on fighting. And like now, I don't need to fight for money. So like that's really so we went from being dirt broke, so now we're not rich, but we could take care of the stuff that needs to be done. We could have aspirations for the future, and I don't need to fight. where I don't mean like I don't need to fight. I mean like I don't need to fight where I need to fight to get paid so I can pay these bills. Like I fight because I want to, and when I fought Palomino, I I didn't need the money. It was good to have the money, but I went in there and fought, and really I was still fighting for the money. And then after that fight, I was like, this is not going to work. I mean, I can't. I'm not that kind of fighter. I have to have something more to drive me than just the money that I'm getting paid. And we've been able to do that. I've been. It's like a resurgence for me, my coach, and we're ready to go get that belt, man. Talk is cheap for me. It's like talk is cheap. I don't want to. I don't want to like, oh, I'll do this and that. To me, it's like, man, I just give me the opportunity. We're gonna get that belt. Yeah,
That's right. That's right. And your style is like you make a miss. You're very technical. You're very smart. You block a lot with your elbows. You're very good at the distance game and judging when the guy, especially in the last was like I was seeing uh, what I saw. A lot of times, when it's good, strong, powerful young kid, durable, but
yeah, he's tough.
certain, yeah, I know, but he was like I saw me out that he had a tendency to drop his arm when he would bring it back his
Yeah,
time. But
yeah.
the kid is good. He's strong. He's powerful, and he's also going to be a problem. He's going to be a
Yeah,
problem.
I really do think that he's gonna be a problem
Yeah,
because
he's going to be a problem for
he's
them.
so solid. He's a tank.
Yeah,
He's so solid. He's one of the toughest fight I ever had.
yeah,
I think it was a tough fight. The reason is because I could never let up. I never felt safe to let up with Brad. Where I was like, okay, I could just let
yeah,
up. I'm like, dude, if you let up, this dude's gonna rock you. He's gonna
yeah,
knock you. All right, if you let up on this dude, he's gonna knock you out. He's still trying to get you. And I'm
yeah,
like telling myself, I'm like, he's coming for you, dude. Yeah,
yeah,
because he came every time he whoop, right up to my face every time.
yeah,
And
yeah. He
and
kept
he's the
coming.
only guy ever. Yeah, he's the only guy I ever fought that no matter what I hit him with or how hard I hit him with or how much torque I had on my
Yeah,
punch, he never backed out. He
I
never
know.
backed up. He was
Yeah,
just he was either
yeah.
there.
A los sangre and
Yeah,
bleeding. He's still
yeah. He
coming
was
forward.
either there or he's coming forward. And I was like,
Yeah,
dude, this
yeah.
guy's no
But
joke.
but you, yeah, you did your thing. How did you feel at the end of the performance? How did you feel?
I felt good. I knew I won. I'm like, okay, I could, I'm thinking the whole time. I'm not living in. I don't zone out. I'm in the moment. I'm analyzing everything, and I'm like counting my punches, and I'm trying to change up my game plans to divert
Yeah,
him. I'm
yeah,
changing things up. I'm trying not to do the same thing too much. If I throw a left too much, now I start throwing the right, and I'm like, I've been plugging them. I've been keeping a steady pace. I know I'm hitting them because you can see the damage. It's like in bare
exactly.
knuckle. It's like, how do you know you've been hitting them? I'm like, dude,
Well,
look at him. You know
yeah.
what I'm
Look
saying?
at him. He's
And I'm like,
bleeding. So
yeah, I'm like,
obviously,
yeah,
you know.
I'm hitting him, hitting him, hitting him, hitting him, hitting him, and his head is boom, 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 boom. That's the
Yeah,
one thing. That's one of the things that we were getting exchanges, and it's hard to see from the audience the exchanges. But the one thing you could see is bam, bam, the
yeah,
head popping back,
yeah,
and I was like, man, I'm hitting him, like, and then I looked up at the screen. I'm like, I'm freaking good, man. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. And the
I'm
announcers,
like,
yeah, the announcers
yeah,
they
I'm
were
like, I'm
speaking.
like,
I was like, damn, this dude
I didn't
is
even hear the announcement. It's funny because it's like Elvin don't even look like he's fighting. I'm like, I'm
man.
good, baby.
That was the
It's
point,
just
right?
funny. It's just how it is. Yeah, yeah. And I've been telling people like we would on the bus right there. We were talking to Leonard, and Leonard's awesome. And we're like, dude, if you want to go out there, you want to have a badass fight, you want to like stand toe to toe, and you just want to bang it out. Like I love fighting. I'm going to cheer. I'm gonna be clapping. We're all gonna have a badass time. We're gonna talk about it, but you're gonna be messed up. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be hurting for a long time. You know, I'm not coming here to be hurt. I'm gonna hurt the other guy. I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna get a W, and I'm gonna move step closer to what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
You know,
and that tends
we're
to
already badasses.
of course,
I'm not
there's no
trying to prove
question. There's
anything.
no
I'm not
that's
trying to prove anything.
unquestionable. That's unquestionable. Just to put it all out
I'm
on the
trying to prove
line,
I'm the best. I'm
of
trying to prove I
course.
have the best style. This is a new sport, so like it's like old school kung fu. For me, like in the movie,
Yeah,
breaking your signs.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
because like we have everybody's trying to figure out what works, and I'm telling and I'm like, hey, this is what works. old school pugilism, fighting with the unarmed hand and thinking about all the minutia. That's the way to go. That's how they used to be able to go 40 rounds. I was like, because I remember when I signed my first contract for BKFC 3, I was watching BKFC 1 and 2, and I was like, after I signed, because I was like, dude, they would love me. And I watched it, and I was like, there's gotta be a better way. There's no way that they used to fight like that and would fight all the time, and would fight, and they would fight 30 rounds in fights where the round doesn't even end till you get knocked down.
Exactly.
So you're
Yeah.
like, there's no way that they would get fighting like that. It wouldn't work, So like I just started looking. I would literally my first fight, I was like looking at the depictions, looking at how the guys were standing and like just I'm like this, and then working and just really just trying to figure out like there's gotta be a better way, And we had a pretty good idea. We did good in our first fight. The gym, the fight with Jim Allers, it was a non-factor. It was so fast. It was 40 seconds. I got caught. I didn't get beat up. I've never gotten beat up. Never gotten hurt. I got caught, and then with Palomino, I think that was a really big learning experience for me, especially for mentality. And then Caleb was, kind of like proving to myself that with Palomino, I was like, I could do this, But then with Caleb, it was like, okay, we could do this. We could win doing this style, And then this fight, we were coming in showing like, okay, we could win doing this style, but like this is the dominant style. This is how you wreck people and just keep coming back. You hit and not get hit. You make them pay. You get their hands tired. You get them tired. There's a lot of people don't think about that. Just wear their body out and just demoralize them. Break their spirit. And I fight like that.
Some people they start looking for the door.
Break them. You have to
Yeah.
because you only have 10 minutes. So like, there's a really big, there's this chess mind game where you want to break your opponent. You only have so much time. You have to like do everything. And you have to be mean. I can't be nice in there. Like I'm a nice guy, but when I'm in there, I have to win. And I know the best tactic in there is just to be El Bandido, just be nasty.
El Bandido.
Just be nasty. So I was just,
El Bandido, my favorite. Let me tell you. Well, besides that the the right hand highlight reel, that was but that's how brutal it can be. And that's why I think longevity, guys who fight, like, take a page from your book or pages or the whole chapter or the whole book itself, because you have a style that you're doing your thing, you're implementing your game plan, but not taking a whole lot of damage, which in my eyes makes you employee of the month at that time, employee of the year, because that's what your job is.
Yeah.
Job is not
Not
to
get hit.
stand there and we're gonna trade. Well, it works for some people, and it
My
really
job's
works.
not to bleed. My job's to make the other guy
Yeah, make the other guy bleed. My job's not. Yeah, that's not your job. But you did a really, really good job. And for the Hispanic viewers, un orgullo latino y un orgullo, para toda la gente, y una persona bien inteligente, y como pelea, eso se ve. Porque alguien que no tiene eso no va a pelear así. No va a pelear
No.
así. Porque ¿qué vale que yo voy a estar ahí? Si yo puedo ganar y si tú puedes chuecar, puedes ganar por distancia, lo que sea, con la inteligencia, la carrera usted siempre va a durar más. Ahí como ellos aprenden. Mira gente como Roy Jones
Mayweather, por
Jr.
eso es que Mayweather, por eso es que Mayweather ayuda tanto tiempo, ¿cómo se llama? Executioner, este hombre.
Bernard Hopkins.
Porque se cuidan,
Se
son unos
cuidan.
tipos que son raros. Primero que todo, tienen un estilo único. So, tú no vas a poder encontrar un compañero de guanteo que va a pelear así. Vas a tener que imaginarte más o menos. Pero cuando entras ahí, vas a estar like, oh, crap. Tienes que tener un estilo diferente.
Yeah.
Tienes que tener un estilo diferente. Tienes que ser inteligente. Tienes que cuidarte. Tienes que entender el juego. Tienes que ser un estudiante del juego. Porque si tú te lo crees todo, si tú eres el mejor de todo, nunca vas a progresar. Nunca vas a progresar.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's man, that's beautiful words from
especialmente en
you,
un
man.
deporte nuevo, especialmente un deporte nuevo, you know, que
Y-
todavía todo el mundo está así peleando por no hacer, no es que hay un tipo agajando, pum, you know, I got it, y está todo el mundo peleando con él. Everybody's still fumbling
Yeah,
for who's the number one, like, and you're
yeah,
gonna come in there and mess,
it's hard.
and I've told that to my training partners, like, you're gonna fight the way you live. Tú vives como pelea. If your life is a mess, you're gonna be a mess, dude. You know what I'm saying? You have to have everything in order so you could have your fighting order so you could dedicate yourself fully,
To
you
that.
know?
Yeah,
And
there's
that
definitely
was
no
that's what we're
part-time
here to do.
shenanigans there,
No,
man.
there's no part. No, you can't do the
I don't
part
know.
time. If you want to be a champion, there's no part time champions.
Yeah,
You
no,
know, and not for
it's
long. Maybe they get a fluke or get lucky.
yeah.
They're able to hold on to it for a little bit, but
No.
at that time, that clock is ticking, man. You know.
So, una pregunta. Let me ask you. Uh, what do you see next on the horizon? Who would you like to fight next, or does that really matter to you?
Man, nah, I'll fight anybody, man. I'll fight. I really hope my next fight's for the belt. I've heard talks about a title shot.
Yeah.
I think I've earned it. I'm 3-2. All my victories are at 165. I'm 3-0 165. I don't think anybody else has that many wins at 165. And I'm a veteran in this. I'm well for what you can call a veteran. I've started BKFC 3, it's BKFC 16. I have 5 fights. You know, I'm in like the 5 fight club. Like I was saying, we're gonna be in the 6 fight club next, and we're gonna be in the 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna be here for a while. It's gonna,
Hmm.
unless something crazy happens, we're gonna be here for a while. And
Yeah.
my plan is to, um, I really plan on getting that belt. So that it's part of the road that we're on. It's part of the path that we're taking. It's the belt. I got to get through that. It's going to be a huge asset for us. And, I feel like I'm ready to do it.
Yeah. And I've seen like you've kind of paved a style or something that not only like a fighter who even a guy who loses to you can learn from that, or even someone who can't touch you, whatever, they can learn that there's from that,
Oh,
as I know
yeah.
you
Yeah.
learn, you know.
Yeah. I learned. And it's funny because before my fights, I'm like, don't worry. When I beat him, he's gonna make him better. Like I always tell him, 'cause he's gonna learn from this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
true though, because when I lose, I learn,
Of course.
and it's the biggest learning experience. And this sport is so new, man, because it is sink or swim. Like there's only two type of fighters in bare knuckle. Like you either belong here or you don't. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't mean so losing really doesn't matter because it's bare knuckle. Dude, you one punch, one wrong move, and it's over. You know, one it could be lightning strike. The guy might not even be trying to knock you out. You might just be moving and he catches you on the nerve and you're done. Or you zig like this and he hits you on the top of the head and he didn't even get a full contact and you're like on stilts and the fight's over. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
this is so high stakes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so there's no time to play,
No, of
um
course, of course not. I saw that your footwork. How important is footwork? And uh, you trained with the legendary Roy Jones Jr.
Roy
the
Jones
father,
Senior. Yeah,
the senior.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that right
Senior, yeah.
in and of itself, how much did that play? Does that play into how you move?
Well, I trained with Roy the whole time I was living in the Pensacola area. I was there for about 6 years. It was after I was on my amateur boxing career, but it was before I started my bare knuckle career during my MMA career. Dean Toole introduced me to them. I went over there and I sparred with their guys, and they love me. They're like, Elvin, and I asked Roy, I'm like, hey Roy, you can come back. He's like, Roy, Elvin, you can come whenever you want, dude. You're welcome here, and it's funny because once I haven't been there for a while and I'm training with the guys, sparring all the time with the guys, like, Elvin, dude, you're in the wrong sport, Elvin. And and I'm like, for real, like, dude, like you. And I'm like, oh, because I'm like, I think I could do good in boxing. They're like, dude, you could be a champion. And then having Roy Jones Sr. tell you that, I'm like, fuck, I'm like reconsidering my whole life. Like, what the hell did I do? Like
Yeah.
maybe he's right. But I never got a chance to fight professional uh uh
Boxing.
boxing. And sometimes it's good to be humble, but you also have to be able, and that's a balance you have to make. You have to be able to value yourself, and see. You can't you can't deny your value. You can't like
Right.
undermine your own
No,
value.
no,
You
of
can't
course
undermine
not.
your own value, and that's one thing that I learned with training with Roy, because when I my first bare knuckle fight was I was training with Roy. I did my training camp with them, and I asked them, "Hey, I'm doing this bare knuckle fight." And I explained to them what it was. Like, you guys think you could train me for this fight? And they're like, train you? They're like, yeah, we'll train you for this fight. We're gonna corner you too. And I'm like, for real? I'm like, hell yeah. And when I went over there, Roy went,
Orgullo, that's good.
and Sarge went, and
Yeah, wow.
everybody was there, and when they, I was getting wrapped up, and they weren't even worried, they're like, you're gonna fucking kill this guy, you know what I'm saying? They were like, I can't wait,
Of
and
course.
this,
Of course.
they have no experience in bare knuckle, you know what I'm saying? I have no idea what's gonna be happening, but they're so confident in my fighting ability. And that's why I said after the interview, because they're so confident. They're like, Elvin, like, what do I do? They're like, just do what you do, And I'm like, and like, hit him. The coach is like, hit him with that overhand right, and it's his work. And that's what I did, and it was perfect, And there was no doubt in anybody's mind. And when I got done, they were like, told you that's what it is. And that was the last fight that they were. That was the only fight that they cornered me with, because I left Puerto Rico after that. I still talk to them every once in a while, but and there's it's still part of my story, but like,
Exactly.
it was a big learning experience in valuing yourself as a fighter, and really just it really showed to me. It was just like, damn, I'm I really could do this shit,
Yeah.
and then, even though I lost the gym, like right after that, the way I lost, I was like, you know what, that was just, I got caught, whatever. And then when I fought the Palomino, when I lost Palomino, I was so worried about getting. I don't want to get caught, because I'm like, bare knuckle, you can just get caught and get knocked out. But if you're just defending, then you can't win. And I have awesome defense. I'm super slick. But if you're just defending, then you're not gonna win. And then when I fought Caleb, it's like, okay, I gotta put it on him. And then and then in this fight, I was like, okay, I gotta put it on him, but when I come out, I gotta put it on him hard right off the bat, like we've been fighting for 3 rounds already, and so it's been a progression, because that's how it is. It's been, and so I've been learning, but it's every coach. I've had different coaches, even for my first coach. Like my first coach, Steve Reel. The first book I ever read of boxing was Jeet Kune Do, uh, uh, Jeet Kune Do
See.
boxing, Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And so I always had a systemized. It was always a systemized style. And just like, if the guy does this, you do this. It was always like figuring out the counters to everything, figuring out the best situation to do everything. So it was like, it's been a building block. It's been like every coach I've been working with, just training with the guys at Capital, with the De La Riva guys, and the systemized jujitsu and minutia of just little stuff,
Yeah,
and
the
and,
little
do, and
points
doing
and
the judo of
yeah.
of the value of, how wrestlers stand,
Yeah.
they start something like that, but
Yeah.
judo guys, they stand straight. The value of
Yeah.
having that tight set of balance, and which was, because I fight like it. So when you fight, I fight like that. I don't fight like this. It's just, so it's like, I'm just picking up, because martial arts, you have to be a student, and that's, to me, that's an advantage that I have, because that's my advantage. I love doing this. I don't do it because I'm not like, I have to do this. I want to be famous. I want to, I need money. I'm like, no, this is like the road that I was put on, and we're gonna do a lot of good things with it. And like, and fighting, even fighting was like, oh, should I be fighting? Or like hurting people, like, dude, this is the way I'm so good at it. Like, and it's a blessing for me to do it, and I've inspired so many people. So like, I have no doubt in my mind, no question in my mind, like, what I want to do. So it's so much easier for me. I'm 35 years old now, and fighting has never been easier for me. So
Mm.
I'm just looking forward to my next fight. You know?
How do the one thing I always noticed is that you always represent, tu siempre representa, which the
Always.
first thing I love, man. You came out with that flag. I was like, oh
Maunabo, man. Yo soy bien orgulloso de
man.
Maunabo. Yo tengo un orgullo de Maunabo porque Maunabo es bien humilde. Maunabo is such a humble little place. Maunabo es un sitio bien humilde, encerrado en sí mismo.
Yeah,
Tú sabes, bien estilo viejo, todo el mundo se conoce, y tiene un corazón de jíbaro de este odiante que todo el mundo
he
sabe,
was,
nadie se muere de hambre aquí.
yeah.
I love it here. And
My
I'm so
mom's
glad I
came
get to
from Hibaro town
yeah,
back in the
I'm
day.
so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad I get to bring my kids back over here, and they get to grow up in a community where everybody knows who they are, and they're safe everywhere they go. And it's good. It was to me for me it was awesome as a kid going to school here. Even though they're doing private school right now, hopefully eventually something, yeah, get some sort of semblance of normalcy. And I feel
Exactly.
comfortable in bringing them back.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to be like mentally like I don't want them to be traumatized. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want them to be traumatized or have some sort of like because it's when you're little, you don't have a good perception of reality. You're just kind of going along with things. So I'm like, I'd rather keep my home kids at home. Their mom's a great teacher, my wife. So and they're like
Yeah.
really ahead. My kids right now, he's like fifth grade level, he's in second grade. So
Yeah.
they're doing real good. And so yeah, man, I'll just keep going on. But yeah,
Man,
I feel good, man. I'm just ready to fight. I love fighting.
a side note, right? I know que in Puerto Rico, that food, man.
Oh yeah, the food, man.
Man, I
You
love
know
it,
what?
man.
I no te voy a mentir. I've been letting myself eat like the last week. So I've been eating pastelillo,
Uh,
arroz con gandules,
oof.
lechón, ñame,
Oh
with
no.
everything, guineo con pollo, everything
No,
that I
no.
see, they're
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm like,
love
I'll
it.
just eat, I'm good.
I
Because
love it.
Chris Sarro's going to be here next week,
Yeah. Oh, he's
and
gonna
he's
eat
got a training
good.
camp for his next, yeah, he's got a training camp
Oops.
for,
Yeah, he's
he's going
gonna
to
have
train,
to.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
got a
got
training
some.
camp for the next 4 weeks. So I got to be with him. I got to help him because he was there with me the whole time for my training camp. So I got to back him up too. So
Of
he's gonna
course,
come over
of
here. He's gonna
course.
do a training camp with us, and we will be there at the next BKFC corner in
Just,
Chris
just,
Sorrow.
just don't
We're
try to
gonna
have
see.
too much of the arroz con gandule out in front of him. You know,
Oh no, man! He's staying
he,
with my coach, bro.
he
He's staying
might
with
have
my
to go.
coach.
He might come and miss weight.
My coach is
God forbid.
my coach is no joke. I told Chris, I'm like, that's perfect. You stay with coach because coach will literally grab your food and throw it in the garbage. He's
Yeah,
no joke, man. My
because
coach
it's
is
it's
no joke.
reality. Because it's
He's the
reality.
best. He's one of the best coaches,
Yeah.
and everybody who comes out here, they realize it. It's not only about knowledge,
And who's your
but it's your
coach?
ability. Cesar Gonzalez. It's not only about knowledge, but it's your ability to like coach people and like to be able to lead them like psychologically where they could like, do things they don't even want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he will make you do things that you don't even want to do, like just to please him. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody can make you do that because most people are like whatever. But like Caesar, like you can't tell him no. So you're like, okay, you just do another one more rap. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
one more. You just do it. But it's awesome, man. And he's a secret ingredient, man. Like, it's great having him back.
of course.
When I started my MMA career, I was 7-0 with him. Um, and I was 1-0 with kickboxing. We won all our jiu-jitsu tournaments. We've never lost in our professional career. As an amateur, I lost coaching with him, but like as a professional, I've never
Bless
lost.
you.
And a lot of it has to do with because we're congruent. Thank you. It's because when we fight, we're one mind. A lot of like I don't want a coach. I've had where the coach is saying something that doesn't even congru with what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like just me and my like coach is telling me something I don't want to hear right before I go into a fight. Like that could happen. So that people don't understand how much the mentality of a fighter that affects a fighter. Like it's hard to pull the trigger. Because you're like it's hard to pull the trigger. So just having a coach where we're like just one mind and we know exactly
Exactly.
what we have to do, what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, what I need to adjust on the
Exactly.
fly. It says, man, we're just an unstoppable team, dude. I don't see anybody beat me for that belt. I want the belt because I want to prove that my style is the best style in bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Um, it's something that a lot of people are not employing
yeah.
in the bare knuckle. Some people do, and like I was talking to you about, I like for a big guy. We spoke of Lorenzo Hunt. I like
Oh
the
yeah,
he's he,
oh yeah.
he's
Lorenzo's gonna
something.
be champ, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be champ. That
Lorenzo's gonna
guy,
be
he's
champ.
something.
He's gonna be
You see
champion,
how he
man.
moves for a bigger guy. He's fighting bigger guys though, but
And you know, you Lorenzo is like me.
defense.
You don't really see him bleed too much. You know,
You don't.
he, he
You
you don't see
don't.
him bleed too much. You know,
But
and
he's
he's
constantly
had
throwing
he's
too.
yeah,
You
he's
know,
racking up. Yeah, well, he's the kind of guy that he keeps you busy defending, so
defending.
you don't get a chance to attack him. You know what I'm saying? Your hands are busy, like
Yeah,
not trying not to get hit. So what else? You're just getting hit. You know, if your hands are bit not trying to get hit, then you can't stop him from throwing punches. You know, so like he's
yeah,
that kind of guy. He's just
yeah. That's
overwhelm
common
you. You
sense,
know,
of course.
he
Yeah,
keeps you so busy. He keeps you so busy that you're just like ah, and he's just bah 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 bah, and he has so
yeah,
much power. You know,
yeah. He has
he's one of those
power.
guys.
No, he
He has
sometimes he says
power.
he
You know,
doesn't. I mean, I think
he's not like I'm not. He'll knock you out one
he
punch.
can't, but
He'll
he
knock you
doesn't
out
go
one
for
punch.
that.
I can knock you out one. I can knock you out one punch, but he's not a one punch knockout guy. But once he
And
starts
that's
putting it on you, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he lays it on thick.
yeah. He
You
lays it
know.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He gives you the business for sure. Like of course, you can knock someone out on him, but when
Yeah.
you fight smarter, not harder, because you also can, in essence, put
You can get
yourself
hurt.
to get hurt also, because you can't
Yeah.
knock everybody out, or you might do something. Something might go just timing. It's like you said, you got the the concussive knockout thing, and then you have the nerve. You get hit the wrong way. It's bare knuckle. You don't have
Yeah.
you should the guard. You don't have the gloves.
You can't block with your gloves.
No,
You
you
can't
can't
use your
blind. You
hands to
got your
block.
knuckles, so it's like
Yeah.
So I'm so
Yeah.
highly impressed with you guys. Another one who I'm impressed with. Some of the female fighters, Christine
Oh
Ferrer.
yeah.
Christine
Oh yeah.
Ferrer
She's tough.
is like
She's
beast.
tough, man.
She's really tough, and you have a
She's
couple
a
of new
man.
fighters. I don't know if you saw that fight with Taylor Starling, Killer B with the other girl.
Oh yeah, that was very impressive. Those girls are tough, man.
They were
And you know it's
going
funny?
at it,
She
man.
was she would have knocked that girl out, but her hands got
Yeah,
tired.
hands
Her
got tired.
hands, yeah, her hands got tired, and then once her hands got tired, the fight got ugly. You know,
Yeah,
but it made for an awesome fight.
yeah, it
You know,
did,
and it was
and
tough.
and I wish them, and the other girl the best, man, and their fighting career. Some of the ladies, they
You definitely want to see him again, both
yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Britton Hart's another one. She's got
Oh,
heart. She
Britain Hart's
can
got the
fight.
heart of a champion, man.
Yeah, she could. She
I like Brittany because I always thought I've seen her fight from her first fight. I thought she was tough, but it wasn't until I trained with her that I realized, like, you know, she has the heart of a champion, dude. She's tough as nails, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but the ladies sometimes, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this or not. They pull out these performances like wow, man. But I
The
mean,
girls knock their
surprising,
teeth.
but
They
not
knock their
because
teeth
women are
out.
strong.
They they knock their teeth out. They do all types of.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
oh
really think
my
because I
god.
think the women they get more emotionally involved,
Yeah.
and it turns into just
Hmm.
a dog fight, man. You
Yeah,
know,
they
and
go, but it's so
some of the
entertaining.
best fights in bare knuckle fighting history are women's fights. You know,
Yeah, but they show
yeah.
you can't hide who you are in there,
No, no,
and
no,
they
no.
show you who they are, how strong they are, how smart. It's like
Yeah,
lioness, man, lioness,
yeah,
and
yeah. No, I got nothing but respect for them.
of course.
You
But
know,
speaking of which, one of the top lions, Elvin, El Bandido, Brito. Let me tell you, man. I look forward to seeing your next one, man. If you knew, if I was there in the cheering section, which I will be next time, let me tell you, they probably would have kicked me out, man. But I was having fun. But
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
no,
You know,
man, you made me
and
proud, brother.
I'm not gonna lie. I pull out my flag, and I always call out my people so they can enjoy it. I always do it so my people can enjoy it, and para que se la gocen, Yo digo a
Claro
todo el
que
mundo,
sí. Tenemos
para que se la
un
gocen,
boricua aquí
para
que
que se la gocen mi gente.
yeah, allá en Puerto Rico
Yeah.
también lo van a saber. Make sure
Para que se
that.
no, en Puerto Rico se la están gozando, mira, Monabo,
Claro
todo el
que
mundo se
sí.
está gozando esa pelea.
Of
And I'm
course,
like,
man.
I'm happy everybody got to enjoy it. And I always tell people, I don't like to talk about it. I'm like, you see it? You know, see my fight? You know, I'm like not a
Yeah, I saw it.
narcissist. I'm not gonna sit there and talk about myself all
Nah,
day. But I'm like, watch,
you don't need to.
watch what I
You do
do,
your
man.
thing.
It's what I do, man. Watch
You
my
do your
work.
thing. You do your thing, and you have like one of those styles that it's kind of like you said earlier. People like Mayweather been around so long and unscathed, and is able to enjoy life and do things because of being slick, smart. People say, "Oh, well, you do this and that." Yeah, but he won.
He's winning. Yeah, he's
He
winning.
won. He
Undeniably.
won.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
there's no
Yeah,
denying that. That guy. Come on.
undeniably. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that guy. He
undeniable.
was
Like,
he was
you know
beating
what I'm
these
saying?
dudes.
Yeah,
Smo-
yeah, yeah.
With
And
this.
yeah, exactly. You
With
know,
this, not with this. They say he had brittle hands. Damn, imagine if he didn't have brittle hands.
yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, yeah,
Coño,
yep.
all that with brittle hands? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly.
Well, 'cause I
Exactly.
heard
Yeah.
somebody said, no, I remember they used to say back in the day, stupid. Oh, he can't read. I said, well, he took hella notes. You he took some notes there because
Yeah.
you don't have to be able to do that to do what he's doing. But he's very smart, very
No.
intelligent.
Exactly. You have to, yeah.
That situational smarts, like
The
you
little things like that is, yeah.
you have book smarts, but you have situation. You have those same smarts: the reading the situation, the fight IQ, the okay, I'm gonna do this and make this guy do this, or maybe I'll let him do it and do it to himself. I see you doing that, and I'm amazed, and I'm proud, and I love when you come out with that flag, man.
Thank
And
you, man.
but you represent everyone, and you're representing el estilo that you have, and I think that I have no doubt that you're gonna get the belt with that because it makes people work, and it will show who they are because si se frustran, you did your job.
Yep.
If you
Yep.
frustrated them, good.
Yeah,
That's
that's
your
what I want.
job. What are you supposed to
If
do?
there are
Stand there
people,
and let them
if
hit you?
everybody in it, if everybody in their corners complaining after the fight,
Good job.
you know, then I'm like, that's it. El bandido,
El
baby.
Bandido
Second
for
again.
sure, man. Ah, man, mi Boricua, man. I can't wait to see you fight the next time, man. It's
I
always a
appreciate it,
pleasure,
bro.
man.
Thank you.
You're one of the people that I click on a certain level. Like we could talk, and there's several other fighters like that too, but
Appreciate it, man.
on a different level. Pero mi gente siempre, yo siempre para adelante. Que como una tía mía dice, well, my family says, una tía mía dice en Puerto Rico, se, siempre para adelante, nunca para atrás. Siempre
Yep.
she's been
Yep.
saying
Yep.
that for years, man.
Pa'lante, baby.
Para adelante, yeah.
Y sin
Elvin,
impulso.
always forward, man, and intelligently as you do. I'm so I don't want to say this word, man. I'm so fucking proud of you, bro. You know what I'm
I
saying? Que se
appreciate it,
hola.
brother.
I'm
Thank you, man.
proud of you.
Well, I'm trying to keep making you proud, man. You know,
Yeah,
I
man.
really
And God
enjoy it.
bless you and your
You know,
family, and live it up
thank
over there
you.
in Puerto Rico, man.
Thank
Yo,
you.
thank you for your time. Gracias por tu tiempo. Aquí tenemos Elvin, el bandido. León Brito, el boricua, boricua verdadero porque él vive allá.
Yeah. But
Elvin,
if you get a chance, just a quick plug. Uh,
your thing.
Bare Knuckle Bandido on Instagram. Uh, they really care about that. So if you get a chance, come check us out at
Absolutely.
Facebook, Elvin Leon Brito. You know, it was check us out, man. And you know, you can always check out BKFC, BKTV, the app. You can see all the fights for like $3 a month. It's an awesome deal. Um, check us out, man. BKFC is the big next big thing. So it's
Yeah,
awesome. I'm glad to
yeah,
be a part of it.
it's the future. Well,
Yep.
I saw Shaq there not too long ago, and he said that you have so much
Yeah, no, it's the
interest
next
in
big
it
thing, man.
because it's not for the
It's
faint
so
of heart.
fast.
It's
It's
so
so
fast,
fast.
and yeah,
It's
and
just like you don't even get time to get bored. You know,
no,
like even the
like
boring fights are over before they get
no,
really
yeah.
boring.
Like
Yeah,
George St. Pierre, right? He said, "Change the rules, change the game."
yeah, that's how you
That's
do
why I
it.
tell people you might be great at a certain thing in MMA. I love MMA, you know,
Yeah,
but it
I love
doesn't
MMA too.
necessarily mean that you will come over and with bare knuckles do great. It
Oh
depends on
no,
the
man,
individual. It depends on the
it does.
individual. But
It's an
uh, uh,
individual fighter. It's a
yeah,
fighting
man,
spirit.
yeah, and your spirit is a spirit of you continue evolving. Uh, you're well balanced. You're not doing it because you feel like the why is different for everybody, but you
Yeah,
do
the
it for
why is
your
always
reason.
different. That's why I always tell
Yeah,
people
yeah.
the
Pero
why is different. There's nothing wrong with that. You
man,
know,
yo, I
there's nothing
always gonna
wrong with that.
ask, yo, what is your man? It's hard to ask you this question. What is your? I can't ask you what your favorite food is. You because you're in Puerto Rico. I mean, come on, there's so many foods. What's one of your favorite meals? Let me put it that way, man.
One of my favorites, man. I love all types of food. It's hard for me to pick.
Okay,
I love
okay.
Puerto Rican food. I love Chinese food.
I'm the
I
same
just
way. I'm the same way.
I love all types of food, man.
But
If I
allá
have
in
to take a
Puerto
pick,
Rico, over there in Puerto Rico, what's your favorite mainstay
lechón asado
tradition?
con gandules y pasteles. That's the
Oh
best,
man,
man.
that's me, man.
Eso es lo que me gusta a mí cuando yo estoy celebrando. When I'm celebrating like a big win or
Yeah, the
something like that,
traditional.
I got ajo con gandules, lechón asado con el pellejo, bien crispy.
Ah man,
You know,
yeah.
with some vianda or something on the side,
Wow, that reminds me of yes. Hmm.
vegetales, some lettuce with some tomatoes, real
Oh
simple,
my gosh, man. Yeah,
just
then
uh, that's like, it's
yeah,
good.
yeah, then
Sometimes el ajo blanco con los gandules guisado, it's really good too, especially
it
like
is.
but the thing is, like, I like that before my fights. Like, I'll eat that, like, because the gandules, like, it's really good for your blood,
Yeah.
and it's really good for you. So, like, I'll have the stewed gandules by themselves. It's so good, It just makes you feel good, and it's
Welcome
easy to
to the
digest,
club.
Yeah,
Welcome
yeah,
to the
it's so
club.
good.
Oh
Yeah, yeah.
my God,
So,
man.
man, I definitely love that. That's as far as like from here. Yeah, I just love the traditional play. I hope gandule, el
Yeah.
lechón asado con el pastel al lado, la ensaladita. And I'll keep going con los coditos, but that's like the party food. Thanksgiving, I'm there.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Well, uh, uh, um, one day someday soon, I'll be heading over to Puerto Rico, man, and we gotta meet up, man.
Well, you give me a shout. Oh
Of
no,
course.
yeah, give
Yeah,
me
of
a
course.
shout. I
I'm
got
gonna
you.
give you a
I'll
shout,
take care of my people.
and we're gonna we
I'm infamous for that. I got you. I'll take
that
care of my people.
man. Me too.
You come out here. I'll make sure you have a good time.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Uh, that's like familia. You heard?
Yep.
Enjoy. Que
You,
tenga buena noche. Have a great night. Blessings to you and your family. Thank you for your time, my man. I appreciate you so much.
you too,
Elvin, el bandido. Ito, yo. Uh, again, I'm gonna put the links and stuff to the sites where the people can find you online.
For sure.
I think that the more they watch, the more they're gonna love it because what I saw, highly impressive, man. Proud
Yeah,
of
man.
you.
I just need the opportunity to keep fighting. I don't want to be
Yeah.
put in the back burner,
Now you won't.
especially if I keep doing the fights that I'm doing, where like
No.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go
because
again.
you're so
My
smart.
hands are good, dude. My
I know. I
hands are
see.
good, bro. Hands are good. It's not,
Yeah. Like you
I'm
said, the
good. I'm
difference
ready
is
to
you gotta
go.
throw them like this. You can't do it like in
Yeah,
boxing.
you gotta be smart, man.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
your hands, you mess them up.
you gotta land with those two. If you don't land with those two knuckles below the
Yeah.
forehead every time, your hands. I hit Brad Kelly one time on the forehead. He got a big hard head. One time on the forehead, my hand got puffed up for like 2 days. I didn't break it. I didn't hurt it or anything,
Yeah.
but just from the impact, just from the impact, my
Yeah.
hand was like whoop,
Yeah.
and it went right back down. I didn't. It wouldn't hurt, but it makes a difference.
Yeah. So do you think also straight punches, it depends on the individual, will work better more than like
Yeah,
in
it
boxing
depends on
with
the individual.
like
Like
loopy
it
punches
depends on
could
the
be
if the guy's tall, it's different. The angles are gonna be different. The guy's your height, the angles are gonna be different. The guy's shorter than you is gonna be different. Like you have to take.
adjust.
That's what I would say. You have to take the fight into consideration. But you can't like dedicate yourself to learning what the like trying to figure out the other fighter. That's not how you win. You win by being the best version of you
Yeah.
while taking your opponent into consideration. If you're obsessed over watching tape of your opponent, you're not really focusing on yourself. Like, and I always tell people, I'm like, I don't care what my opponent does, dude. You're gonna have to figure me out. I'm like, there's gonna
Yeah.
be there's
And
Both of
that's
us
the
are gonna be
problem.
worried about. He's gonna be worried about what I'm doing, and I'm gonna be worried about what I'm doing. And
That's
there's
the
nobody
problem.
gonna be thinking about what the other dude's doing. I'm just gonna be deep out,
Mm,
you know.
of course,
And
and that's
you
the
know,
problem that a lot of I see that not able to figure out because and that may be play a big part into to the mindset of when you focus so much on someone else and what they're doing, you're off to the wrong on the wrong start anyway because the
yeah,
folk, oh, what are they doing? What are they doing?
yeah,
That you're leaving your game. I don't see that with you. I see you just this is what I do,
yeah. I
and
don't
I'm
need to
not
hear
worried
my
too much.
opponent's name when I train. I don't need to figure out a reason to be mad at him or anything. You
Nah,
know,
nah.
I just go out there. I do my job to the best of my abilities. I got 10 minutes to show all the stuff that I've been working on. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Um, and that's what I was telling the guys. I'm like, anybody wants to go in there and get the fight done. I'm like, whoa, give me a second. Got 10 minutes. Let me work. I
Yeah,
like
of
being in
course, of course. See, but
there.
that's a
Let me
sinking
work,
man.
baby. Like it's
But
all
as you
good.
are in there, that's how you are in life.
Yeah,
Piensa mucho.
that's how
You
you gotta
think.
be, man.
You gotta be. You
Yeah.
can't be a lo loco.
Yeah.
How long is
No,
that
no,
gonna
you can't
last?
be
It's the
like
same
that.
in
It's
life,
not.
you know.
It's not gonna last long, man. It's gonna be glorious. I mean, I'm I'm gonna enjoy it, but it's
It
gonna
may,
hurt a lot. Bare knuckle is not a joke. Yeah.
it's not for the faint of heart. There will be blood, and
Yeah.
I mean, I've recommended to those who really that's what you want to do, but for some people it may be really hard really to find out if that's what they want to do.
A lot of people
You know?
think they're ready for this, man. I've never
Yeah.
seen so many people just wait for the 10 count. You know, you know
Ah,
what I'm
so
saying?
they're not really out. They're
Yeah.
just like
Just
they're
staring
looking
at
for
their puddle, staring at watching the puddle form. Like,
the
I don't
blood.
know about this.
Yeah, yeah, el espíritu.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
el
know about
espíritu.
this. A lot of
Yeah,
people break in there, man. I've never
that's
seen
a
so.
hell of a
I've been
paycheck
fighting
to
for
earn,
almost
bro.
20 years. I've been
Uh
fighting for
huh.
almost 20 years. I've never seen a sport where so many men, veterans, just break. You know, get punched in the eye.
Yeah, I've
Start
seen that a few
squirting blood
times.
all over the place.
Yeah. Mm.
It's a wake up call. You're like, oh,
No.
this is
Or
not
or
not.
or or,
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
or,
yeah.
or
Get
they
punched in
they
the
or
eye.
they or they
I'm
may.
like, dude,
Uh huh.
like it was a perfect example. This is how I feel about it. Tom Clancy was the ref, and the
Hmm.
guy's like, he's like, ah, he's like, what is it? He's like, he punched me in the eye. He's like, did this? What happened? He's like, he punched me in the eye. He's like, oh, one, two.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're
Yeah,
fighting
you're
bare
gonna get
knuckle,
punched
dude.
in the eye.
Yeah, I'm
Like
like,
you can say,
yeah,
well, the
but
guy poked you in the eye, and then I look, and it's like
nah, dude,
it's a knuckle.
nah, dude.
That's the point.
That's it.
Bare knuckle. That's what I tell people. It's
Dude,
different
nah,
than you
gotta
know.
be ready, bro.
Certain things you
you
get
know,
power, whatever you're gonna feel it or
you're
whatever. But
gonna
a bare
bleed.
knuckle is
If you
if you
think
think.
you're gonna go in there, if
Hmm.
you think you're gonna go in there and compete with guys like me, and you're not gonna bleed, you're you're gonna bleed. I, I'm okay. You can make me bleed. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But believe me, you're gonna bleed. And that's the thing is a lot of people, MMA is not always like that. MMA is a different sport. MMA is more. There's a more martial art aspect involved with the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu
Hmm. Exactly.
and the and where this is
Hmm.
pugilism. It's like pure man
Yeah.
to man, just primal, just bam
Yeah.
bam
Take
hitting
this
each
one.
other. And you know what I'm saying? And
Yes, I
it's
do.
not for everybody, man. A lot of guys really think that they're ready for it, but not everybody. It's not. You could tell who's gonna make it back. You go in the back room and you already know who's gonna be there again for the next one. And most people only fight once or twice. I only have 5 bare knuckle fights, and there's not even a lot. There's not a lot of people that have 5 bare knuckle fights.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's
Reggie
a skill that
Barnett,
they learn real
yeah,
fast.
yeah, you
Yeah.
don't belong here, bro. You
Yeah.
know what
It's
I'm
like
saying? Reggie Barnett has 7 bare knuckle fights. He has the most bare knuckle fights out of anybody. I'm
yeah. I
right
like
behind him.
Reggie.
You
I
know,
like
you know
Reggie.
what I'm saying?
That's my boy
Yeah,
Reggie.
I
I
like
like
Reggie.
Reggie.
He's the
He's
bare
good.
knuckle king. Like he said,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
the
good.
bare knuckle king. I'm like, that's the
That's
man.
you the man. You got
Yeah,
the most wins. I
that's
like
man.
Reggie
That's
a
the
lot,
man.
man. I
Yeah,
like Reggie a lot.
yeah,
That's my dude, man. I like
yeah,
Reggie, and he's very
yeah.
humble.
That's what I
And
love about bare
also,
knuckle. There's so many
yeah,
characters in bare knuckle. It's like these guys are larger than life, man. You
yeah.
know,
Everyone has their
these guys.
story. Everyone has
Yeah,
their way.
their
Everyone,
why and their why. Their
and
fighting style.
and talking to you even before this, I guess you have such a like you just have you're so sharp. and the things that you speak about, so common sense and like intricate certain things, you just, I mean, you have the analytic intelligence, obviously. You have the, obviously you have the practical intelligence, so especially for the career, path that you're on, because if you don't, then
you're gonna be hurt. You're
you're
gonna
gonna
get
get
hurt,
hurt.
man.
You know what I mean? It's like,
And I'm
but you
not.
do.
This is the hurt business, but this
That's the
is the
hurt
hurt business.
business.
But I'm
Yes, it
here to
is.
hand out the pain. I'm not here to take it.
You hear that?
I'm not a
You hear that,
receiving
future
parcel.
opponents? He's handing out plato de cocotazo.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm not receiving parcels. I'm handing this shit out, man.
Yeah, for sure. But that's what,
Yeah,
makes it special. That's what makes it
yeah,
something that I like to see. I was like, okay, he's thinking, but he's making it happen.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's
Because
the difference.
you're making it happen. And then sometimes it's maybe it's like Lorenzo Hunt says it, like in his way of viewing it. Sometimes it's no, I let them do it. But you do it seem like when somebody rushes in, bad idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Bad idea, because when you throw in this, that man is so used, like you're so used to, I see you just move a certain way, and you could just be right there and then come back just so you can stand your ground to throw something back at him. So that's a tough, that makes the sport so much tougher, because you have somebody like yourself who is going to intelligently, like Marvin Hagler said, who's behind the punch? Behind the punch is El Bandido. So now you're looking, you're going, oh boy. I thought I was gonna
Yeah, no,
catch him with that one, but it didn't work
yeah.
that way. And but it's a pleasure to watch that, the evolution, and
I
how
appreciate it,
everyone's
man.
adding their own little bit. Reggie adds his thing, this
Yeah,
one
no,
has his
man.
thing, the other one has their
Yeah, man.
thing,
They're all
you add your
pioneers.
thing.
We're all pioneers. Like I can't say like I'm the man or anything. I'm trying to prove the style. My style is my best. I have my own reason to fight. Man, everybody has. There's so many different guys,
Mhm.
so many pioneers in the sport. You know what I'm saying? That like I said, Reggie. I'm like that's the king. You know, he says
I like Reggie.
he's got 7 fights, and you gotta give the man his due diligence.
Of course.
Just like
Of
Johnny
course.
Bedford. You know, to me, Johnny Bedford was the most accomplished champion. You know,
Right.
because he was like 5-0, and he was and he, to me, I always give him respect as a champion. He's always going to be a champion. Reggie Barnett, he worked hard to be 6-1 in bare knuckles. Is a real impressive record. It's the best record in BKFC.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm
Undeniable.
saying? And it's the same thing with um a lot of these guys, man. They work so hard for what they're doing that like you can't take that away from them. And I'm not here to take anything away from anybody. I'm here to just do my thing to claim what's mine. You know, I'm just not letting
Yeah.
anybody stop me. And this is the fight game. This is the fight game. So when you step with me, one of us is gonna lose.
Yeah.
And
Be
this is how
prepared
it
for it.
is.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
how it is.
Yeah,
And man, like I said, your style, it's so effective.
I
It is.
appreciate it,
You
man.
did bring something from the martial arts, like Bruce Lee. You took the best of whatever, but you're making it work. You're implementing something, because
That's
anytime
the
that
yeah,
you can make me miss the way you do, and then you're standing right there, and you just, it frustrates people. They can say, "Well, he's moving. He's just." That is the point. That's the
yeah,
point.
yeah.
The
You
point
know how
is
hard it is to
make
do
them
that.
miss.
It takes a
Very
lot of
hard.
conditioning. It takes
Very hard.
a lot of guys get tired chasing me around. You know what I'm saying? They get
Yeah.
tired just chasing me because they're not used to moving around so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't just move around like that, and you gotta work, dude. You know what I'm
Yeah. I
saying? It
know.
takes a lot of work. That's why
Yeah.
you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm able to do it. I'm able to implement my game. You're gonna get mad at me because I'm winning, doing what I do good at, and I'm okay with people not liking my style because maybe maybe I should bleed every time in your mind, but that's not. I'm not here to please everybody. I'm here to win. I'm here to be the champion. You know what I'm
Yeah. I
saying?
think you will. I think you. The more you're gonna make. I mean, you
We're
have.
gonna make them believers, man. We're gonna make them
Yeah.
believers.
No, you have many believers, but you're gonna have a whole bunch more,
Yeah,
because knowing and seeing the patterns. Not saying anyone else is bad. That works for them. But seeing the effectiveness and the longevity and the way that you're doing it, thinking, that takes harder work to do, like you said, because that's not like, but it works for you. Everyone is not going to be able to do it as you
no,
do.
no, I don't. I really don't think. that's what I tell guys. It's not fighting like me. I don't think it's the fighting style. I think it's the methodology. I think if people could adopt the methodology,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter what style you have. It's going to be way more effective. Your hands are going to be better. You're going to take less damage. The fights are going to be the fighters are going to be so good at doing what they do that they're going to have to add more rounds. You know,
Yeah.
they're going to, but that's when you get to the elite level. You know, when I fight a guy who's like me, and they're like, dude, you're going to have to let those guys fight for like 10 rounds. You know, because like they're just going to be like, throwing punches and hitting, and they're going to be bleeding all over the place. And they're just going to be just knocking each other out, and they're never going to be able to land something that knocks each other out. They're just going to be hitting each other and bleeding all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's still going to be an exciting fight, and at any moment you can get knocked out.
Of course.
The fights it's going to get to the point where the fights are going to naturally last longer because the guys are going to be taking less damage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's going to get to the point where they're going to have that. I really think championship fights can be 7 rounds. Because I think me as a champion, I could fight 7 rounds. I could prove. I think there should be championship rounds. And if you want to be the champion, like I have no problem going into the championship. I think I proved that already. That's actually where I do best. And I would love to take somebody in the 6th, 7th round. You know.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, because it's like
it hurts.
You know, it's like boxing that marathon run.
Yeah. No, bare knuckle was so raw. It's just like it's torture. You know, it's torture.
Because you see people fold and break when maybe they can box or were great at boxing, but the physicality, the
it
fact,
hurts.
you know,
it's something. There's a numb thing about the glove, even the MMA glove. Like it doesn't really hurt. Like at the moment, it's just like you know, but it doesn't hurt. It's not like when you get the glove off, it's like you're like whoa, you know what I'm saying, like. Blah, and you're like, whoa, I just got rocked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like literally, like you just hit me with a jab and my legs went. You know what I'm saying?
That's first fight, bones, man.
Harris Stevenson, when Harris Stevenson walked into the ring, me and my coach looked at each other, we're like, this dude is fucking huge.
Yeah.
He's big, dude. See, that's the thing is, like, you see a guy like the guy like Brad Kelly, you know, he's like a tank, you know.
Right.
But Harris Stevenson was big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude is big, you know. But it's I don't know. Like I said, the size. It's not gonna. A lot of people are gonna realize that cutting weight in bare knuckle, it's not the greatest idea, especially extreme cut weights, because this isn't about athleticism. They have that mindset where it's like the athleticism, because it does translate into MMA. And boxing is an athletic endeavor. If you're not a top athlete, you're not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But bare knuckle, you have to be a fighter. You know, you have to be able to fight. You have to be able to. If you're not comfortable, like getting real ugly, because it can get ugly in there. It can get ugly in there. So if you're not okay with that, you might end up just laying down. You know what I'm saying? Without even wanting to. You might not even realize that you're laying down. So. And you're like, oh yeah, man, that could have got us.
Yeah, that's the worst one. You don't realize it. Yeah. Yeah. But man.
Yeah.
It's a great pleasure.
Yeah, I can just keep going. I'm gonna.
Oh no, we will. We will, buddy. We will, my brother. We will. I'm just amped for your next one. I want to see. Yeah, you got it, yo. The flag,
Yeah,
when I go, too, man. I'm going to have one too.
My Naval flag's gonna be bigger next time. I'm gonna get a big one. It's gonna be as big as my Puerto Rico flag. So
I saw the flags. I was like, wait a minute, what's that? But yo, thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
God bless you. Que Dios te bendiga. We will talk soon, man.
All right. Thank you.
God bless you, man.
I got my
Elvin, El Bandido,
appreciate it,
Brito. Man. You will be champion. You're already a champion, but you will have that belt. Brother. God bless you, man. Que Dios te bendiga.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Hey guys, if you like the content, like, share, and subscribe. See you at the top.